welcome back. It is episode 123. I'm your host, Jacob Harris, and this podcast is brought to you by Achievement Apex and Power Pit Rockingham, now in association with Bulk Chalk Gym, or Bulk Gym Chalk, definitely said that the wrong way, and Ped Test Australia. I am joined today by Alana Daquino. I got it right. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, and thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. I've been following you for quite some time, and I really want to delve into like when you started, because throughout Instagram and what we can see, there's not a lot that can be seen. But I know that your current best total is 615 at 75.
Yeah, did that last year at 6:15. Yeah.
And that was at Pro Raw.
Yeah, Pro Roll last year. Pro Roll 13 in March.
Yeah. And so you're 23 years old and you hold 7 junior records.
Yeah, 7 all-time junior records. Yeah.
Yeah, all time, which is good to emphasize the all time, because that's not just a federation record; they're all time. So 23. I started lifting when I was like 20. So to me, for you to be at this point, I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. So when did you start lifting?
So I started lifting. I got into the gym when I was like 14. But that was for like more cricket-based training. But then I dived into weight training, and I was just like hooked. I did my first meet at 17. And then I was hooked from then. I ended up, left cricket and found powerlifting, and that was it really.
So what like when you did your first meet, did you start at a gym with people, and then was there people powerlifting or something? Did you get introduced to it that way?
Yeah, I was introduced by a friend actually. I ended up getting personal training sessions, and he ended up taking me through. He just like he was a good mate, and he was into bodybuilding at the time, and I was like, oh, that sounds fun. So he ended up taking me through a training session, and then like he taught me how to squat and deadlift, not bench at the time. And through then, I ended up finding a powerlifting gym through another friend, and then I was introduced by Max. Ended up getting personal training sessions through him, and then in the end, he took me through the first meet at 18.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember what your first total was?
I totaled 470 actually, so that was like high end of I was a teen back then, so that was I think the biggest team total at the time, and I didn't even know that was kind of good. I was kind of like, oh, okay, like I'm not bad. I kind of
Yeah.
just got it in the first meet.
Yeah. Well, it shows that people are born for it, right? Like there's that. We're seeing a lot
Yeah,
more.
I think no, definitely the genetics can come with it, and the work ethic and stuff. But I think after my first meet, I kind of like I didn't have any idea. I can remember I benched 100 kilos at 18 years old, and back then I didn't even know that was good until Max was like, no, Alana, that's massive, and I kind of was like, oh, okay, like I just I just was like, oh, that's just a normal day, really. I didn't even know back then.
Yeah, wow. So when it comes to, because like the thing I notice is that you're incredibly well-rounded as a lifter. Like that's like, you know what I mean? Some of the people with the biggest totals of all time generally have like a bigger squat,
Yeah,
but
100%.
but
Yeah,
in the lower weight classes, you see a little bit more, I guess, kind of just big deadlift and squat, and then the
yeah.
bench is kind of like at that medium level. So you're kind of like building upon a really good structure, but like, is there one of them that you have a really good relationship with? Usually there's always one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to say my deadlift. I think I've done a lot of work and technique and refining my deadlift to get to where it is today. And I mean bench and squat, yeah, I love to bench and squat, but if I had to pick one single lift, it would have to be deadlift. Deadlift has saved me a few times as well, so gonna have to go with my heart there.
Yeah, well, I noticed that you recently, like the other day, so you're at I don't actually know what it's called, but
Space
you're at
gym,
sorry?
space gym,
Yeah, you're at
yeah,
Sebastian's place, yeah?
space probe, yeah,
Yeah. And so you did like a set of like 7 or something with 220, didn't you?
yeah. We Luke programmed me in an MRAP at 220, and it's like Sebastian Orb wants to have you down. Are you keen on flying down? I was like, yeah, all right, might as well. Just I wasn't really sure how many reps I was going to get at 220. I was aiming for like 5, but then yeah, I was like, oh, keep going. Felt good, so
Yeah, well, I mean, you obviously pull sumo, but did you pull conventional when you first started?
Yeah, when I first started with Max, he only taught me conventional because I didn't really know what sumo was back then. I just did what I was kind of like used to. And I think my best for conventional was 180, but I only did 2 meets and then went straight into sumos.
Yeah, okay. And sumo just like immediately felt better.
Yeah, I think I have the right mechanics and like legs for it. I'm short, got bigger kind of legs, so it worked for my body structure and it worked better for me overall. So I was like, I'm gonna stick at one thing and get really good at it, and no, don't stress too much about conventional. I don't think I'll ever go back either.
Yeah, yeah. So given like where you are at with your numbers and like the best total so far, like you're a 11 or it'd be almost 10 weeks out now,
I think it's actually 9 weeks, 9.5 weeks.
9.5 weeks. And
Yeah,
this is
about enough.
next meet, which is what's the next meet?
My next meet's Pro Raw 14
Hmm.
in March. So that's at PTC headquarters. Under 75s this time.
And so what's the plan? What's the plan for that one? You just want to kind of go over
I mean,
what you did?
yeah, I just want to go in there, and just obviously smash my old total out of the park. Um, I've got some so like super big goals for the whole year, so I just think I just want to for March just beat obviously my own total and just try and better myself as an all round athlete, not try and better one lift, just try and build a bigger total rather than build a bigger lift.
Yeah. And so, given how training's been, I mean, obviously we mentioned a deadlift, and it seems to have been going well. But given how your lifts have been feeling and how they're going currently, it's obviously hard to say because of how far out you are. But what do you think is going to be achievable?
Um, yeah, I think obviously I would love to get, a 250 plus squat on the board. And I think that would, if I get that, that would really set me up for a good total. 135 plus bench. And then obviously whatever's left on the deadlift, enough to get me over the line to win or enough to go for another all-time record. So it's hard to say this far out, but that's slowly what's on the cards.
Yeah, okay, it'll be interesting to see. And then when you mentioned 75s or being in the 75s, you said this time. Do you have a plan of moving up in weight class?
No, I think my goal is, I mean, I want to be the best powerlifter in the world in the 67s. So I compete a lot in the 67s and a half class. If I was to do like international comps or whatnot, but in Australia, obviously, yeah, the best I'll do is under 75s because dots don't really matter too much. More total, but ideally, I want to be the best powerlifter in the world in the 67s. So I still think I've got another couple of years in that division. Because I don't really need to really weight cut. I sit reasonably around 72 kilos. So for me to get to the 67s is comfortable, I would say.
Yeah, okay. And so, because in the 75s, where are you ranked in the top 10? Number 9 or 10?
75. So my last 75 meet was last year, 1 year ago. So where was I? I think I yeah, I would be top 10. 615. I think it was like the third biggest last year. And that was I only did 1 meet. So I don't really check too much 75 total. So I'm not sure, but it'll be roughly probably top five, top 10.
Yeah, because I know that. So I think obviously Christy Hawkins is like leading that one pretty heavily, like
Oh,
all time.
I thought you meant Australia.
No, all
Right.
time, yeah.
Oh, all time. I'm not sure that I couldn't quote on that. For Australia, I really don't know. But all time, yeah, I'm not sure. It'd probably be top 15 all time.
Yeah, okay. Because I know you'd be up there because I know that I think Christie's is like 720, 25 or something like that. But then
Yeah,
Mariana or something is like,
Hunter would be up there. Brownie, a few other big Americans.
yeah. Do you ever have any ambitions to go over there and train? Or like, sorry, just, maybe train, but also maybe compete?
Yeah, I did the Ghost Clash last year in the US, which was held in Miami. And that was an experience. I mean, that was probably one of the most stressful comps to date. Um, and yeah, in terms of like, I do definitely have goals to get there again. Ideally, I would love to do, the American Pro or something kind of big, but I want to wait until the time is right, and I don't want to rush into it because I want to go there competitive. I don't want to just go there fill up a number. If anything, I'd want to go there and try and get top three or get top two. I just don't want to waste a whole trip and just be there, to look good or just be around those people. I want to be there to win.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. And so, what do you do like in terms of like a day job? Do you work in gyms or?
Yeah, I work. Yeah, I work in the gym. I've worked at fitness.
Okay.
Like it all works. It's all over the world of Crunch Fitness. But yeah, I've worked Crunch Fitness in Mentone for the last 7 years. And they actually sponsored my tickets to fly to Miami last year, so which I was very, very lucky for. But yeah, no, I've worked there for 7 years.
Yeah, okay. And so do you typically train like other powerlifters or is it just everyone?
Just more a general. I'm not really a kind of a coach. That's not really my field. I kind of just PT clients and I train all a range of clients. NDIS clients I have a lot of. Um, just PT kind of sessions. So a few mates, a few older people. So I don't really do powerlifting training. No.
Yeah, okay. And so this is a kind of a bit off topic one, but I've had a question here.
Yep.
And this one is from Michaela, and she's just asked. I feel weird as a guy asking this question.
It's all right.
But she said, how does training affect your cycle? And like, do you have like positives and negatives about that sort of thing? Like, because I think I train a lot of women. I've trained a lot of women over
Yep.
the years, and like everyone has different experiences. Some women literally, it's like it doesn't even affect them, and then some weeks they have really hard time in the gym.
Yeah, no, definitely, and that's a good question. So I actually have. I don't know if you know what a marina is, but I got a marina inserted when I was 15 years old due to having really, really bad periods when I was in my younger days. And obviously back at 15, I was playing a lot of sport. In like I played for Victoria, so I was traveling a lot for cricket. So in the end, my doctor and I kind of, sat down and kind of said, if this is becoming an issue. So I saw like high end kind of doctors and stuff. And we ended up going with the marina to try and so that kind of stops my periods. So I've had that. I get that rechanged every 5 years. So I haven't actually had a period for since I was 15. But if I do decide to get my cycle back on track, I'll just have to kind of go in and get it unset, taken out. But I've had really bad periods when I was in my younger days. So I
Yeah,
couldn't the cricket and always traveling for sport and like cricket was like 4 days a week. So it was super hard training and stuff. And my periods used to last for like 3 weeks or 2 weeks and really heavy and long. So in the end I couldn't actually cope. So yeah, I feel a lot better in myself now. Like I still get cramps and stuff, like the feeling of when I'd get it once a month, but I actually don't, get it completely.
yeah. So I know that your cycle sort of like it still happens, right? Because it's like still
Yeah,
gonna
100%.
happen, but
Like
it's
I
not the
feel it when
same.
I get cramps and stuff, or I feel a little bit more hungry, a little bit more tired and fatigued, but I just don't have to go through the whole process.
So does it affect your training? Like, do you, maybe bring the weights down on that week in any way?
No, it doesn't really affect my training. It just kind of I just get really tired and hungry, so it doesn't really affect my training. No.
Yeah, okay. So what's your eating like as a person? You a big eater or?
Yeah, I am a big eater. Definitely, if I'm in the 75s, I can eat like 3,800 calories to about 4,000 sometimes. Um, and if I were, in the 67s, I'm kind of close to 3,000 calories anyway, 3,100. So it's not much of a change. So for right now, like I don't have to struggle or anything. I eat very, very well. But I try and eat a lot of calorie dense foods as well to try and keep up my training and sleep and recovery and all that stuff.
Do you track it like your food or you sort of just eat intuitively?
I kind of eat the same kind of thing. Like I do track things that I haven't eaten for a while, but in terms of like tracking, I don't track every single meal. Like I eat pretty much the same breakfast like every day for like the last 5 years of my powerlifting training. So that kind of never changes. Same dinner, protein and carbs, potatoes or rice. I don't always track that kind of stuff, but if I eat something out of the ordinary, I will track to kind of just see how many calories or roughly that kind of has. But yeah.
I'm curious about the breakfast now. What's the breakfast?
The breakfast, so same breakfast. I have 6 pieces of toast with 6 whole eggs. And then I have a bowl of cereal or oats, or if I'm training, or if I'm not training, I don't have cereal or oats. I just have my eggs. And then I have with a banana. So I love eggs. Anyone who knows me, I'll eat eggs every day.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I eat eggs every day as well. Have to.
Yeah,
So I'm.
yeah, right. Thank you. Izzy always goes, "How do you eat that many eggs, babe?" I'm like, "Oh, it's pretty easy. Like they're freaking, I do anything to them." She doesn't really like them, so she always gives me her eggs every time we go out for breakfast.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't probably eat many scrambled eggs now. I think I like really prefer I just love
Right?
yolk. So to me,
Yeah,
fried eggs is where it's at.
yeah, right.
But I mean, to be fair, I mean, just the eggs and the toast though. You don't ever add anything in. Like I'm a big fan of like beans, or sometimes I'll have some kangaroo patties with it or something.
No, sometimes I've got like a piece of cheese. I put cheese like on top of the bread, and then the eggs on top of the cheese. But I usually just have like tomato relish, or if I need some fats, avocado, like small fats. But I tend to just put cheese, like butter, cheese, and then the egg on top.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah,
it's what about cereal then? Because I'm a big fan of cereal too. What's your
cereal.
choice?
My choice would be like Nutrigrain or Cocoa Pops, or Wheat Bix. Or I really like oats or porridge as well. So I kind of like change it up sometimes here and there. But if it's cereal, it's always kind of Nutrigrain or whatever. Yeah, I've got Nutrigrain down there now, so that's what I'm having at the moment.
Yeah, okay. Is there any like, I don't know, favorite post workout meal? Like, is there something you go to after you train?
Always I eat like 4 LCM bars. So they're kind of like these rice cakes. Love those. Freaking love those. And what else? A banana always as well. Kind of have a banana post training. Sometimes I have it while I'm training. And then a protein shake usually.
Yeah, okay. I'm very familiar with LCM bars. I eat them. I eat them every day. Yeah,
There we go.
I have a post training that I put honey on it, and then I have
Yeah,
that.
all right, honey. Yeah. That's actually a good hack. I've done that with rice cakes.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you just sound like you're pretty carbohydrate based, which is good because yeah, I feel like I have spoken to a lot of powerlifters now, or even just lifters in general, and people eat carbs, but some people, I guess, maybe don't eat as many as you think they would, or like people don't put as much emphasis on it. But obviously, you're pretty big on like understanding like energy and like needing to like
Oh,
replenish it.
yeah, 100%. Sometimes, like, I don't know if you know much about, diabetes or whatnot, but sometimes I need to like force myself to have carbohydrates to keep my levels up. So sometimes when I'm like crashing, I actually need to eat carbohydrates to keep my levels, at a rough, 4.2, 4.3, because then, I'll kind of at the end of the day, like I need sugar to survive. So I can't survive without carbohydrates.
But is this because of your consideration of diabetes, or are you diabetic?
I'm diabetic. I'm type 1 diabetic.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. So,
yeah,
yeah, that's interesting. That's even more interesting then, right? Because some people
yeah,
would be, I mean, I I know that we know with type one is obviously like kind of the opposite of type two, right? Type two is when people are going to be worried about sugar, where type one is where you have to have it, but you're also still having a lot. Like by the sounds of what you're saying, I mean that you must be having 500 grams of carbs a day.
yeah. That's right. It's about 450 grams to about 500 grams carbs. Sometimes a bit more on training days a day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. As it was.
Well, it's
Yeah.
75s anyway. Like not when I'm trying to cut to the 67. I kind of have about 400, 450, but yeah, still reasonably around 400 plus.
Yeah, I've got a couple of diabetic clients, so it'll be interesting for them to. I actually have a client; she's type 1.5, which I didn't know existed.
Oh,
Uh,
well, I've never heard of that. Wow.
yeah, yeah, it's like so she's both. So she can't have too much sugar. Or she shouldn't have too much sugar, but then she also needs it to like she needs to keep it like really in the middle the whole time. And
Wow.
yeah,
Does she take insulin or is it like a tablet?
you know, so she still takes insulin and like, you know, there's like metformin and stuff like that. I think
metformin,
she's
yeah,
trialed a couple of different things.
yeah,
But yeah, it was super interesting because I didn't know it existed either. And
yeah.
then,
I've never ever heard of that. There you go. What's
yeah,
her name?
oh, her name's Kate. So she's just one of my clients and she's just like
Oh,
she's just a Gen Pop client,
a
but
gem pot. Yeah, yeah,
so she came in and just used to train together years ago, but then we train
yeah.
together again now. And then when we talk about it, like obviously she'll talk
Oh, that's
about what
really
she eats
interesting.
before she trains, and I'll sort of be like, yeah, when we had, and so I was confused one day, and I was like, wait, so you should have sugar or you shouldn't? She goes, oh, it's kind of both. She goes, I've got to be really careful and keep it in the middle. But then she takes, you know, the obviously like I think it's probably just metformin or something.
Yeah.
When she has it, it like really affects her appetite, and then she won't eat. Like
Oh
sometimes she
wow.
feel like she just doesn't even want to eat for like a full day.
Yeah,
Um,
which is super hard because you kind of need to eat in a way because if you go hypo, like what do you kind of do there?
yeah, what I mean, I don't know what it's like over where you are, but it's like, are you in Sydney or Melbourne?
Melbourne.
Melbourne, yeah. So probably even more common now. I don't know, but here it's become like a big thing of people who aren't diabetic taking,
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I know a lot of people. Yeah,
yeah, doing it for like weight loss.
weight loss. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. There was like an issue here for a while where they were like running out of it. They were like running out of
I
it.
think there was an issue here as well. Actually,
Really?
yeah, yeah, running out of metformin because of there's too many people using it that aren't even diabetics.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Um, I think there's a time and place for it. I mean, I don't really know too much about metformin, so I can't really, say I think my opinion is it's a bit frustrating because people like us, well, not me, but like other people, who actually need it and can't get their hands onto it. It is a little bit frustrating, but I think, if your doctor's, telling you to use it for some sort of reason because you need to lose weight or something to feel healthy or whatnot, it's good and bad, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, same as like the gastric sleeve, I feel like is another one. Like it's a bit sort of, you know, there's like 20-year-olds and stuff getting it. And
Yeah, which is super scary. Like
yeah,
that's
I, I sort of think maybe it's a bit like you've, if you're 20, like you've got time to exercise and try to eat healthy, right?
got
Like,
like 80 plus years of your life still to go.
yeah, exactly. Like for me, I had a client. He was like almost 50. He was, um, you know, from New Zealand, big guy, like 170, and he was just like, I just want to honestly be able to play with my kids and like be around to be
Wow.
like a dad. And he was like, I've just let it get too far. And he was coming to the gym and he kept coming to the gym even after he had it. But he just said, I need to do something. And then he did it and he ended up at like 100 kilos and then he could play with his
Oh,
kids, you know? It's so times like that you can understand, like what you said, there's a time and a
yeah,
place.
there's time, but yeah, that's crazy. So now, but good on him. Well done.
Yeah.
Take my
Oh,
hat. It's
yeah.
still not. It's still not easy. Just because you're having something to help you lose weight doesn't mean you're gonna lose it. You kind of still need to put in the work. Still need to put in the effort. So it's probably just as hard. It's probably more pressure, I would say.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of side effects people deal with as well. Like one thing I couldn't do for sure. I don't know what you're like, but I'm really big on like if I eat, I have to be drinking at the same time. I like
Oh,
struggle to eat if I
yeah,
can't have liquid.
yeah, yep.
Um, and so once you've had the gastric sleeve, you can't do that.
Yeah, no, you can't because I think it gets like kind of like stuck.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm like, I couldn't do that. Like I'm like sometimes I'll drink a liter of water when I'm eating a meal. Like I have to just to be able to get it down, especially if it's something a little bit drier. Uh,
yeah, 100%. I'm the same. I'm like always having a liter of water. Like I have a liter of water before I wake up, but when I'm like eating breakfast, I need it cold as well. So I like it fresh out of the fridge, a nice like cold big glass of bottled water or something. It's I need it definitely. Flush it
yeah,
all out, flush it down.
100%. I mean, and this, I'm going to be total asshole and use this as a moment to have some of my thirst trap that I got here because I actually got sponsored by these guys and got sent a bunch of them. I don't know if you've ever
Oh
tried this.
no, I've never tried those.
You guys have Woolies over there, so I'm pretty sure they stock them there. But this is like 100% Australian spring water and
Oh,
comes in a can.
comes in a can. Oh my god, nothing better than a can. There you go.
Yeah. So it's like in America they got Liquid Death. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No, I haven't heard of that, but maybe no, I haven't heard of liquid death, but I've seen something like that. Not that color though, so maybe I have seen it.
Yeah,
But
they These ones are white. You can get white ones, and that's like sparkling water.
Yeah, I feel like it's white. I feel like I have seen the sparkling water one because I
Yeah.
drink a lot of sparkling water, so that's why I think I've seen the white one, but I haven't seen the black one.
So you drink sparkling water?
Yeah, I love sparkling water. Yeah,
I mean, I reckon you should try it out because I know that they do these ones, and they've started stocking them in like 7-Elevens and that. You're in Melbourne, so they would have so much
yeah.
uh everywhere there. Like when I can't, I've been there twice now, and the second time I went there, I came across that Easy Mart.
Oh yeah, yeah. That easy one. Oh my god,
Oh man, I was just like, I've never seen so many cereals in my life. I was like,
it's actually like really overwhelming.
it
Top
is.
stuff there is in there.
I don't even think I was having like, I was probably having like 50 grams of protein a day when I was there, right? Because I was just eating cereal and like all these
Yeah,
different.
it's actually really hard to like stay on track there, especially when like my first time when I went there, like I couldn't find like all every time I was looking for like foods that I needed, like I was like getting too distracted of like all the other cereals or what's this, what's that, what's this. It's actually really overwhelming.
Oh, it is. And it's like they've got like 10 different kinds of Kit Kat. Like I didn't even know there
Yeah,
was that many different kinds.
I know.
Like flavors of Pringles that I've never even seen before.
Yeah, but I know. Tell me about it.
It's
Oh,
but now and then I've heard now apparently they're like the place that you go when people buy vapes. Everyone was telling
yeah,
me they
I
sell
know.
vapes.
Salvation. There's freaking a million flavors out there now.
Oh, you must have. Is there heaps of it in Melbourne? There must be.
Yeah, there's the vapes are massive in Melbourne, massive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it must. Yeah, it must. Do you vape yourself?
Occasionally, like when I go out and stuff, yeah, I do vape definitely. It's definitely it's addictive, 100%. Like if I have it where I can see it, I'll do it. So if you know, if I put it away somewhere, I won't do it, so I can't see it. But when I go out with friends, I'll go out for a drink and whatnot. Yeah, I do vape.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's good for drinking though, right? Because it kind of keeps you off cigarettes, and then
Yeah, it keeps me off the cigarette 100%. Like I don't smoke or anything like that. So I only vape and it's better than for me, I'm saying it works better for me. So yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
for
like it.
sure. Um, I want to ask about the look because I'm assuming that probably is like a thing that people notice, right? When they first meet you, you've got a head tat and it looks fucking sick, right? I've got my boss that I work with, he's got he's got his whole head done.
Yeah,
And it's obviously part of your look, right? It's like part of like the iconic look that people have.
yeah.
What is the kind of decision and the reason behind that? How long have you had that done?
I got my head tat done when I was kind of like 18. Um,
Okay.
and the reason why I don't really know why I kind of got it. I think I feel like I was born to kind of stand out. And I think this is kind of like who I am now, and like I feel more happy in myself the way I look with tattoos and stuff. It's just part of my identity now. It's just who I am. Like I might look really rough, but like I'm probably the complete opposite to what people think. I'm shy as well, so I just think having these head tats, I feel more secure about myself than I did before these tattoos. So
Yeah, okay. I like it's a nice reasoning behind it, I suppose. Kind of gives you maybe a little bit more confidence as well because
100%, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely it gives me more confidence and I may look, this really tough, scary person, but if you actually, come up and talk to me, like I will chat to absolutely anyone. I love to hear about their goals. I love to help other people because obviously, that's why I PT. I help people, and I just want to help people better themselves and make themselves feel good because I'm proud of the person who I've become today with these tattoos.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah. That's a big part of that means expression, right? That's what tattoos
Yeah.
are about. And so I felt kind of bad once I put the story up and then I like put the song and then you sort of shared it. We're like,
Yeah, because that's what. No, honestly, it's fine because that's what people think. Like people think, I'm really this rough, hard ass, tough person. But like I'm actually like I'm probably the most calmest person. Like I get very nervous. So if I stay calm, cool, and collected, and I just like go like listen to my emotions and stuff, I perform better when I'm calm. I can't perform better when I'm like super angry and this hardcore music going through my head. Like I get in the zone. And then I love to celebrate after a lift. So that's when I kind of, go throw up my hands or whatnot. But before a lift or before a competition, I like to be calm.
Yeah, I feel like for the most part, that seems to be helpful to people like at high levels. Like anyone that I've seen, some people can run off the hype, but it seems like
Yeah,
less people are doing that now.
yeah. I think 100%. I love the hype. Don't get me wrong. Like I love getting upbeat for a lift or whatnot, and like trying to get in the zone. But getting angry or like hardcore kind of stuff, but it's just it's just it doesn't work for me. I've tried it and it doesn't work. So
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, to be fair, that song that I use, that probably wouldn't have been aware, but the song that I use obviously sounds very heavy for anyone who heard it as well.
yeah,
But that is a female. That's a female vocalist.
I actually no. That's what I was looking at before the other day. Actually, I was freaking out. Like she's got an advertisement. I actually listened to a few of her songs. Can't remember them now though. But she's amazing. Like I love listening to female vocalists. Like that is, I find that so fascinating. Like I get really fascinated.
Yeah, it's cool now that we're seeing a lot more of it because one of the other songs I was gonna choose was by Spirit Box. I don't know if you know Spirit
Yeah,
Box.
Spirit Box. Yep. I've
Yeah,
heard of Spirit. Yep.
they're massive at the moment, right? Because it's like but she also sings as well, right? It's not just heavy music.
Yeah, and don't get
Um,
me wrong. Like I love those. I love the heavy music. Like I listen to it. But if I can't get, you know, angry and upbeat myself, like I like listening to the music, but I don't kind of like get too cocky, is what I would say.
yeah, but it could retract from focus, right? Like you
Yeah,
become too overwhelmed by your emotions, and then you can't focus properly. And
yeah,
you
definitely.
need to be focusing on the lift. And so, do you have any pre-lift kind of rituals? What are you doing before a lift? Are you sitting on your own, just kind of quietly?
Before I leave, so before a squat day, I'm kind of always up. Like I like to get my sessions done, really like I have like maybe max 3 minutes, 4 minutes rest. I don't rest long. So I think at the moment now, after I do a squat, I kind of just walk away a little bit and, I roll up my wraps and go really slowly. So I'm forcing myself to have a rest. And because my partner wraps me, she kind of like takes her time as well because she knows I like to get my sets done pretty fast. I'm just kind of like an anxious person. So she's like, no, 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 you have to rest. So she kind of, helps me move the change around the plates and stuff and forces me to have a rest and I feel like that's worked for me now.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Like if you're used to training that way, it can be hard to
Yeah, I'm
adjust to.
just used
Yeah.
to like training hard and fast. I'm not very used to like having a rest for 10 minutes or chatting to this person or whatnot. I'm like I want to get it done, and it's worked for me. But now that I'm like lifting over, 220, 230, 240, it's like, no, no, I actually need to rest. Like this is taking a lot out of me. So
Yeah.
I kind of have my clock on and I force myself to have at least 5, 6 minutes rest before I even start wrapping my knees.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, even that is like still. I know people who just rest way too long. I know I've had mates who have rest like 20 minutes between squats, and I'm just like,
I don't know how they that I find that really amazing because my body would just cool down. I think like a 20-minute rest is just crazy. But sometimes in comp, you can't help these things. But ideally, like 8 minute rest would be ideal for someone.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, at comp, you kind of can't help it as well, right? Because comps
Yeah,
run differently, and sometimes you get forced to have longer rests.
yeah.
Is there being I guess the weight class you are currently, or like even mentioned 67 and a half before and stuff like that, but is there anyone you want to compete against that you haven't competed against, like that you would just love to be like in the same flight as and kind of be going neck and neck with?
Um, Maybe Lily Riley would be cool to go neck and neck with. I think we went neck and neck a couple of years ago, but because I really like her, I find her fun to compete with. I mean, I'd love to go up against her, but no one that I haven't really competed with yet that I would want to go up against. No, I don't really know anyone.
Yeah, well, I mean, you and Lily would be. I don't. What's
Lily, although yeah, Lily, I think is under 90s. So
she's a bit heavy, but I don't know what Lily's best total is. Is it over 600? It is, isn't it?
yeah, it's overseas. I think it's six. I think she got I can't remember. It's probably over 620, I'd say.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So she would either need to do a bit of a cut or you'd need to put some weight on.
Yeah, it's either that. I actually don't think we'll ever be able to go head to head because she's obviously a lot taller than me as well. So she'd obviously comfortably sit at least, 82, 83. So I might just have to, as I get older, because I'm really 23. As I get older, I may, want to fill out the class, down the 5 years down the track. Who knows where I'll go, but I don't think Lily will ever go down to 75. So
No, well, she's a bit taller than you as well, right?
yeah, that's exactly right. Like she's a lot taller. Like she used to do 75s, I know that, but now I think she's completely done with the 75s and now it's going to the 82s.
Yeah, okay. And so you said you competed at Ghost Clash in the States and that as well, and then you kind of maybe want to do American Pro one day, and then obviously you're doing Pro Raw this year.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Like, is there anything else that you just like to do? Like, would you ever want to? I mean, I'm in Perth. Would you ever compete in Perth if you got invited?
I'd love to compete in Perth. Yeah, 100%. That'd be cool. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to do another sleeve prep. I really enjoyed doing the sleeve prep last prep for the GPC Nationals. But yeah, I would love to do a competition in Perth. That'd be cool.
Yeah, well, so you squatted pretty. I think that's one of the first videos I came across of you. You squatted pretty heavy in sleeves. Hey, what was your best squat?
My best squat in the 67s, it was in comp 202.5 kilos. And then in training 205. So just 2.5 under.
Yeah, I think I saw the 205 in the gym, and then I
Yeah.
remember. What sleeves did you use?
I actually use the Ghost sleeves.
Oh, okay. I've
Yeah,
not.
from Ghost Gym. They had sleeves, and I really like them. Like they're not super hard to get on. Like the Inza ones and stuff. Like they're kind of stiff, but they're not so stiff to get on because that would just shit me.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you about that. What do you think about these like new age ones, like the Inzas and shit?
Oh, honestly, like that would just shit me. Like if I can't get my sleeves on in like less than 3 minutes, I'll probably just squat without sleeves like I'm not impatient. Like I need to get my sleeves on pretty fast because like as soon as I get to the gym, like I just want to start training. Like I love training so much. Like I don't want to spend freaking hours on end to bloody put on sleeves that you know would only probably give you like I don't know 5 kilos more or whatnot. I don't know what they would give you, but I think sleeves are sleeves. If you've got sleeves, then they're fine. People
Yeah.
get too obsessed with like good equipment or what do you use, like what belt do you have or what wrist straps do you use. It's like I've used the same wrist straps for like the past 4 years for like my squats and stuff. I only moved to wrist straps for Ghost because I saw I needed new sleeves because my old ones didn't fit. So I was like, oh, I'll just buy these ones. So they're fine. They work for me. So
Yeah, I mean, it depends on who you talk to. I've there's definitely a lot of people around here who can be a bit. Um, I've met people who are real precious and they definitely want the exact thing and this and. But like honestly, like I mean, I've never been. I would never have called. I competed a couple of times, but I'd never called myself a powerlifter. But even when I did it, like I'll squat on a power bar and I'll use cast iron plates or something and I'll walk it out and someone will comment and be like, "Well, that must feel like shit," and I'm like, "Well." I mean, this is how I squatted for like the first 5 years when I trained.
100%.
like,
Yeah, yeah, no, no, definitely.
but everyone's like, "Oh, don't you want a squat bar and all this sort of stuff?" And I'm like, honestly, like, I really don't give a shit what it is. Like, as long as it's got some knurling on it so that it stays on my back, I don't really care.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
no,
it's
definitely.
yeah, it's funny that people like the sleeve thing is funny. I have a pair of the Titans
Oh,
and
okay.
they just sit in the boot of my car, man. Because honestly, like I used them for ages and they were good. Um, but they're horrendous. Like I was like, I posted like a story and everything. They were literally taking like chunks of like skin out the back of my legs, like just
Oh my God, nah. See
it
that?
was,
Nah,
yeah.
that's too much for me as well.
This is what I mean. I'm like, it's like if you're gonna go through that pain, you might as well wear wraps, right?
Exactly right. It's like, well, you're there anyway. So and wraps will probably be easy to use. Like my partner would probably wrap me before people can get their bloody one sleeve on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so what kind of wraps do you use?
They're ghosts as well, actually.
Have you used other ones or like the Ghost or a new one or?
I've used the Lily Bridge. I wasn't a huge. I mean, I didn't really give them a good crack. I mean, I used them for one prep, and they didn't really. I don't know. We just didn't. I didn't think of it. So I wanted a kind of a more of a looser kind of wrap. I don't like my wraps like super tight. Like I like my knees wrap maybe like 9 revs, like not super tight and harsh. Like I still like to move a little bit in them. So these black ones that I've got, they're actually a looser kind of fit. So when I wrap my knees, they're not super, super tight. So the Lily Bridge was just too much for me.
Yeah, okay. Because I only really use the Lily Bridges. I used some Inzas once, but they were like super soft and stretchy, and like I just felt like I was doing this. So I was like, I was just
Yeah, right. See, I prefer the soft and stretchy kind of wrap.
yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah,
maybe I didn't give them a chance. You know, like I feel like it's hard.
yeah,
Like when you have that preference, like we're human, right? So we can be
yeah,
like, nah, fuck those ones. I want to use these
yeah,
ones.
exactly. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. It's. I mean, I like. It's good to hear though. I feel like you would. What about money meets? Have you had any kind of interest in trying to make money doing it? I guess like or like not that you would do it for that reason, but
Um, I think people are kind of like powerlifting for the money. I don't think you'd get that far really anyway. So, I mean, I would love to do the money meets, but if the time is right and I know that I can kind of win, I'll do it. I won't just do it for fun. But money is not really a big thing for me. I don't do it for the money. I do it because I genuinely like love the hobby and love the sport. So, if there's money involved, then that's just a bonus, really. And it's cool to win money. I feel like when you win money, you can open up new locks, new doors and stuff. You can travel or whatnot. But you don't. It's not a whole heap of money anyway. So you can't. It's not. Yeah.
yeah, I know. I mean, I think it's. I know a lot of people who like this. It's the same idea as what you've said, but I guess now we're just seeing more of it. So
Yeah,
like that.
it is getting more and more. I think the one last year, um, in October, I think that was massive. I think that was the biggest one ever held in Australia for money. So that was massive.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know because you've got obviously Pro Raw, but yeah, if you ever wanted to, I guess compete here, you like sort of have a couple options with it, I guess. But I mean, like you've got um like when we did Capo States at one point, we did like a Capo one, and Jamie and everything came over for that,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I think I saw that. Yeah.
yeah, and that could be something that maybe you could look at in the future. I could mention it to Sam and Henry that would because they're sort of they wanted to get I guess more people over like and they got a few people for that one, but that was a money comp as well. I think they put up like 25 grand for that one, but obviously for yourself, um, it would help because obviously you'd get at least your flights paid for or something.
Yeah. Well, that's the only reason why that I would do the money one is to try and get my flights paid for or something. That's the only reason why I'll do it. I wouldn't want to like try and like make money for myself. Like I'm just making money to get more and more into my powerlifting career, if anything. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, I mean, like if you were able to do it, like you've not been to Perth before at all, or
No, I've never been to Perth.
no?
No.
So you and I mean, like if you were to come over, could Izzy come with you as well? Does she?
Yeah, 100%. Izzy will definitely come. Yeah.
Yeah, then you guys could sort of check it out here as well and see what it's like. Pretty different to Melbourne. We're pretty I don't know, we're smaller but
Sure.
there's a lot here. I feel like I don't know. Melbourne, when I went there, I found it to be just like real big and it was just a
Yeah,
city.
100%.
And I was like here, you can be in the city, but if you drive like half an hour, you can be in the middle of fucking nowhere.
You could be. So
So
I'm still like that with bloody Melbourne now. I still don't know my ways. I'm always fucking using maps.
to be honest, I rely way too much on maps. I don't even think
Oh,
look where I'm going now.
same.
It's
Oh my god. Same. I'm definitely.
Well, so when I went there, I went to the city, but then one point I visited a friend in Frankston. So like where are you? Like in
Oh,
conjunction?
I'm Frankston. Yeah. Frankston's probably like from here, maybe like 45 minutes. Because I travel from, I live in, uh, I live in Brunswick West. So I live in apartments, but Brunswick West is kind of close to like Mooney Ponds and, that kind of area. But because I travel from here to Frankston, it's PTC. It's probably like a 45-minute drive. So it's not too bad.
Yeah. So Brunswick, why does that ring a bell? I think I go there when I was over there. I went to like Doherty's.
Oh yeah, Doherty's. Yeah, Doherty's in Brunswick.
So that's not far from you.
That's not far from me. Yeah, that's probably like 10 minutes from here. Not even.
Yeah, okay. Because when I was there, I had a mate pick
Brunswick.
me up and took me there, and I like it was just for me, it was just a spin out because it was just like there was like this. I just felt like you guys have everything over there.
Yeah,
Um, But I'm going to take this time to shout out some restaurant that I went to there. I don't even know
Yeah,
I don't even know the name of it or whatever, but I got eggs on toast and
yeah.
I wanted avocado and they just fucking cut the cunt in half and put it on the plate. They didn't even take it out. Literally just cut it in half and put it on the plate and charged me $5.
Oh,
So I don't remember the name of
oh
that
my
restaurant,
God.
but you guys suck.
Oh my God.
I
That's
was
typical for you. That is absolutely typical.
I mean, you live there, right? So you're probably used to it. Is that what it's like?
100%. Like I asked her when I go out for breakfast, I obviously ask for like extra eggs. So because you get two, because you only really get two eggs. I'm like, so I want four scrambled eggs, and they're kind of like, so you want two plus another two? I'm like, yes, I want four total. They come back and there's still two eggs on the plate. I'm like, no, 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 I want four eggs. So they're kind of like, oh, you want four eggs? Like they kind of like judge you in a way that you're eating more than the required thing on the bloody menu. I'm like, yeah, I ate four eggs. So they kind of go back and forth. And I'm like, oh my God. So I get
And
you to order it for me.
they probably charge you like a stupid amount for those eggs too. That's why I struggle to go out for breakfast now because I'm like,
But yeah, it's
eggs are probably the cheapest thing ever. Like people were talking about it the other day and they were like, oh, the price of eggs has gone up. And I'm like, I mean, it's like $6 for 12 of them. That's still fucking 50 cents an egg. Like
yeah,
it's,
well when you go out for breakfast, it's like $3 an egg for one
yeah.
extra egg. So you get two extra eggs, that's bloody $6 for just two extra eggs.
And you can have a whole dozen for that.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, look, let's not get caught up on the egg thing. We're here to talk about powerlifting, but we're both me and Alana are both passionate about eggs. All right, in case you can't
Yeah.
tell.
Good.
Um,
Glad you are.
I will say that there's an aspect, I guess, of you've shown that even at a young age you can get pretty into or you can get pretty far in powerlifting with where you're at because of I mean you work hard but also there's a genetic potential there that I think we're seeing a lot more of because powerlifting is becoming more popular
Yeah.
and it's becoming more popular amongst females, so that's probably something I guess I want to ask you about. Do you how do you view it there? We've kind of you look at society and I guess the time over, right? We used to be at a point where like, you know, let's be honest, females weren't treated very nice at all, probably like 40s, 50s, right? You weren't even allowed out the house and shit, right? Then they couldn't vote, all these horrible things. Now I feel like we're at like a trajectory where I'm scared of a lot of the women that I know because they're either bigger or stronger than me. I mean, I went to jujitsu and got my ass kicked by a chick
Oh my God.
there. And
Yeah,
so,
no, you're right, 100%. There is a lot more women out there that, I remember like back in the weights, the good old weight days, when I was just starting out PTing, there wasn't a lot of women, but now, there's more and more women that are like feeling better in themselves to go to the gym and not feel conscious about lifting weights because they think they're going to get too big and bulky. It's like, no, if it was that easy, then everyone would be like that. So I think definitely more and more women are getting out there, which is great to see.
yeah, I think it's proven that there's like I guess less of a I don't even know how you would put it, but there's not really like a stereotype of someone that can go to the gym. It's sort of like anyone can go,
Anyone,
and
yeah,
that's what we kind of need to. Because I work with a lot of Gen Pop too, right? And it's like
yeah,
I've had people hit me up, and I'm sure you've probably had it as well. You definitely would have had it, right? Where someone's like hit you up, and they're like, "Oh, what kind of train? Like, who do you train? Because like I don't do much of the lifting stuff. They're almost like hesitant to come and train with you because they think you're going to want to train them like an athlete.
yes, I know 100%. That's
Yeah,
probably about 40% of people that, because I get consults and stuff, they kind of like they send me a message. I want training, but I don't want to get too big and bulky. I kind of like look at them like, oh, fuck, just another one.
yeah, yeah. And you
Trust me, you're not going to get big and bulky from doing a few weights here and there, guys.
Yeah, well, I think being lean as fucks with people's perception a lot as well, right? Because you know yourself, like even just when you're a bit leaner on social media, especially like yourself, right? You've got a couple of photos and that. Like if you're halfway through a deadlift or you come out of a squat or something, sometimes you're pumped up and like you'll have veins in your arms, and people will look at that and be like, "Oh wow, you're massive," but you understand perception to a certain level. Obviously you're like jacked, right? You're bigger than than a normal person, right? But like my point being is like
Yeah,
you'll say to someone, "Oh, they're only 75 kilos," and people are like, "No, they must weigh more than that." It's like, nah,
100%.
that's
Yeah.
just how the photos made it look.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. Like, I don't really look 67 when I lift because I like what in a lift, like my muscles are really big and blown up. So obviously I look like a 75-kilo athlete, but I'm actually like pretty small, like with just normal clothes on. Like I just look like a normal person. So you don't get super big and bulky of just lifting weights. It doesn't work like that.
No, well, you would also as well. You have a high carbohydrate diet, so that's like another thing. That even stuff like that makes a big difference. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's
definitely.
it's. People say to me, they're like, "Oh, I don't want to get big," and then I'm like, I find out what they eat, and they're like, "Yeah, I had like tuna on a rice cake for lunch," and I'm like, "Okay, well then you don't have to worry because you're never going to get fucking big eating that."
Exactly. Exactly.
You have to have 6 eggs for that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, consistent as well.
kids, yeah, every day.
Every day,
But no, it's good. I think it's something I wanted to touch on because obviously there was a question from a female, and I think that honestly the sport is getting to a really intense place. Whether we're talking about um, pro raw or even over like the IPF and shit that's happening over there, like some of the like the weight classes are at a point where like I think there's actually a weight class in the IPF where a woman holds it over a male, like a male in that weight class.
think I
And
know.
that's,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not, it's a lower weight class, might be
a
like
lower weight class.
67s,
Yeah,
but that just shows you that like we're at a point where there's such a wide part of the population and so many more female athletes coming into it that we're starting to see like a really interesting playing ground. Like it's really moving to an area now where I mean, you're yourself, like you're really like, look, it's 100 kilos, but there's no reason to think that you wouldn't total 10 times body weight one day. Like
exactly.
I'm assuming that would be a goal of yours.
100%, definitely. That's why, yeah, a big goal is mine is trying to get the biggest dots in the world for the 67. So that'd be a really really big goal, definitely.
What is your dots currently?
614, 613 dots, 613.
Yeah. And so what, and so the where you're ranked in Australia, is that based off the dots or total?
For the 67s,
Yeah. Yeah.
both.
So are you at different places for your dots and your total, or are they?
No, I'm at the so I'm number one for junior all time, regardless of dots and totals and stuff. I've got the biggest dots and the biggest totals. So no, I don't know for open though.
Yeah, okay. Open powerlifting is something like sometimes when I go on there, it's you spend like 20 minutes trying to change all
Yeah,
the
trying to
settings.
find like one thing. So I just kind of like, yeah, at the moment I'm just trying to beat my own total and just try and get some more junior records and stuff while I'm still a junior. But I always like to dabble in the open kind of a little bit as well, just to kind of see roughly where I'm sitting.
Yeah, yeah. And so how did you find training at Sebastian's gym?
At Sebastian Gym, really fun actually. It's a nice. He's done it really well. I really like his setup. He had a deadlift platform, mono, just enough to do like a really good session. So I think I'm definitely going to fly back down for a few more sessions. Only because my coach is from Sydney as well. So that's the whole reason why I went down there. So I can just get on a one-on-one session with Luke. So more that helps me more than anything, seeing him in person.
And so your coach, Luke.
Luke, yeah, Luke Shakespeare, Australian Limited.
Yeah, yeah, okay, I thought so. Yeah, so it's a lot of names you get thrown around with
Yeah,
coaches and stuff in Australia, and there's when you hear the reoccurring ones, that's when you hear things like I've heard Luke's name a few times. People like Thomas Lilly, that's when you know
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
coaching the big people. So
yeah,
yeah, look, I mean, I guess on our way out, there's a few kind of random things that I always like to ask people because
yep,
you've mentioned that you're a little bit different to how people may view you.
yep,
So I want to find out a little bit more because that would be an interesting way to do it. I
yep.
noticed you have a shit ton of shoes behind you, which I can't not mention. Are they yours?
Yeah. But they're Izzy's and I's. We've got a serious shoe addiction. It is not an addiction to have, guys. Like there's a lot of money being splurged out there, but there's probably like maybe 150 pairs of shoes that we've got
150 pairs
together.
of shoes.
Yeah, they're only half. The other half are down in our storage cage because we actually can't fit them inside.
Wow. What do you like? Do you wear them all?
I mean, yeah, I wear them all for like different occasions and stuff. But like when I train, I have like my Vivos and runners and stuff. But I kind of like to change my Jordans around here and there.
Wow. That's yeah, okay. That's I mean, I have two pairs of shoes.
Yeah, no, honestly, good. I take my hat off to people who only can wear two pairs. It's a serious addiction.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it could be worse. There's worse addictions to
Exactly.
have.
Yeah, exactly right.
um, for the people who are into shoes, I'll do it. What's your favorite? What's your favorite shoe? Because there's going to be someone who's like, ask her what her favorite shoe is.
Favorite shoe, probably my TNs or Jordan threes, I'd say.
Okay, I feel like you wouldn't be from Melbourne if you didn't say TNs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't. I have to say TN. TNs, I've got like 20 TN, 10 different colors TNs. So definitely I have to pick TNs. And Jordans, I've got maybe like 15, 20 pairs of Jordans as well. So
What's the most expensive pair of shoes you've ever bought?
expensive pair, probably like 1,500.
1,500.
Yeah.
What is that Jordans?
No, that's my Air Forces. Oh wait, were they Air Forces? Yeah, Air Forces. There, my partner Off White. I don't know if you know what Off White is.
Is that just like a
A
different shape?
brand, yeah.
Oh, it's a brand. Okay. Are they so $1,500? What are they comfortable?
Yeah, they're not they're comfortable. I mean, I only wear them like special occasions, but you're kind of paying for like the color or the shoe size. Like if you've got a bigger foot, the more it's gonna be. Or like Izzy shoes are like $500 cheaper than mine because my foot's really big. Izzy's like is like a kid size. So
Yeah. It's
so
my
the
missus the
big
same.
like
What?
size 9, size 10 is the most popular size. So it's gonna be priced up more.
Yeah. Wow. I do not know enough about shoes. Wow. Well, okay. Here's one then. What do you think about Crocs? Because they've taken over the fucking world at the moment.
Oh, I can't. No, I can't get onto the Crocs. I'm sorry. No, Crocs are too much for me. Like I love my slides. I love slides, and I love the Vivos, and I can't do Crocs and bare feet. Like people who walk around bare feet, I'm like, no, 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 I can't do that. I
I
can't
feel
train bare feet.
I
I
feel
don't like
personally
showing my
attacked.
toes at the best of days.
Oh, I'm so bad at it. I used to be the same, but I'm bad at it now. But I used to wear I wore work boots for like 2 years, and it put me off wearing shoes. I just like fucking I just
Okay,
hate
well that no, that's fair. That's fair.
it. So so favorite movie? Do you have one?
Favorite movie? Oh, that's actually a really good question. Favorite movie. I don't know favorite movie, but I've just watched a TV show that I really liked, but
What
not favorite movie.
what TV show?
It's called Fool Me Once.
Oh, everyone's gone on about it.
Yeah, it's really I really like the show. It's a short 8 episodes because my focus levels can't be like I can't watch like long periods of stuff. But the 8 episodes, it was actually a really good TV show. I actually liked it. But no, I can't movies. I can't think off the top of my head. I'm not really a big movie person,
Yeah, TV
honestly.
shows are a lot more popular now though with people, right?
Yeah, I feel like yeah, TV shows because they're just better. Like short episodes, can kind of I can stay focused more
Yeah.
than movies.
Well, my recommendation to you, if you haven't seen it, I don't know if you and maybe Izzy will enjoy it, but it's a show called Mister In Between.
Oh, Marcus was actually talking to me about that. I haven't watched that. No.
Yeah, because it was filmed. I think it was filmed in Melbourne.
Right. Okay. No. No. All right. Is it on Netflix?
No, I think it's on like Stan, because they're
Oh,
like
Stan.
they
Okay.
have all the Australian stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if they're going to come back and get me somehow by saying this because it's on record, but I illegally downloaded it. So
Oh, okay. There you go.
um, okay, favorite. We talked before about music. So I noticed a couple of the ones that you'd put on some of your posts and stuff, but do you have like a favorite song? Maybe one that you put on, you know, to relax or something that you enjoy?
Favorite songs.
It can be an album or a band.
Album or band? Maybe. Honestly, I'm not really like it. I'm just songs. I like rock, like anything rock, like AC/DC is what I would kind of like listen to. Um, who else do I like? I don't know. I don't really know too many. I mean, songs. I mean, I just kind of play whatever's that's in the gym. Who else do I like? Um,
AC/DC is probably a good answer. If you do come over and compete here at Capo, you will make Adam very happy. Adam Coe.
yeah, honestly, anything rock, anything like punk rock, bit of words in there. I like.
Well, he Adam Coe does the emceeing of the comps here, and if it's AC/DC, that's what he considers heavy music, and if anyone
Yeah,
changes
that's
it,
what I consider as heavy music as well. So,
he gets really pissed off if someone changes it. It's hilarious.
so that's good. That's good because I love AC/DC. That's why I love pro rock because they're like massive on those type of bands and stuff. So I love it.
Yeah, they would be. I can imagine. Yeah. Well, so it's very neutral as well. Everyone likes it.
Yeah.
So it's a good one. But if you could train with anyone, like let's say you could do a session, obviously you kind of have your own way of going about things, but let's say you could train with someone for a session and it could be anyone. They can be like alive or dead, maybe fact or fiction, don't even have to be real, but you could train with someone for a session. Who would it be?
Real, it'd probably be Steffi Cohen. I think she is my ultimate. I'd love to train with her. I mean, I've looked up to her since I was like really, really young. So it'd be either Steffi Cohen or yeah, it'd probably be Steffi Cohen.
It would be, I mean, you'd be able to learn a lot as well because that's a big
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So even go through that. But what about not training? Let's say you could just be around someone for a day, like, and just spend a day with any person ever.
Or famous.
Yeah, it can be anyone. They don't even have to be real. It could be fucking Mickey Mouse if you want it to be.
Um, oh, maybe Superman.
Superman.
Yeah, Superman. Because I love how like hardcore. Yeah, that would be him.
So which Superman though? Like who's the Superman? Because there's a lot.
um, oh, actually, no, maybe Batman. Superman Batman movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it'd probably be the Batman, the black guy that's in like the cape, and like you can just see his eyes. So.
You mean Ben Affleck, that when like the guy that played in the Batman vs Superman one?
Yeah, yeah, that would be cool to see him. Yeah, that would be cool.
That's an interesting answer. I've never had that answer. I mean, that my next question. I always ask people if they would like want to have a superpower or something, but you've kind of crossed that one off
Oh,
as well.
yeah, that would be my ultimate superpower is to be able to fly and be like him.
Yeah, no, okay, I like it. So I'll ask you one last one, and this is an exercise one. If you could only do two exercises, and let's take squat, bench, and deadlift out of it because we know
Yep.
that you enjoy them. But for people, when it comes to powerlifting, people don't really do accessories much. But let's try to focus on those and say that if you could only do two, like what would be the two that you enjoy, not for muscular development or anything like that, but literally just out of enjoyment.
Out of enjoyment, I love face pulls. Absolutely love them. They're probably like one of my like go-to like love face pulls and probably bicep curls.
Bicep curls.
Yeah, or like a tricep push down.
Nice.
It's
Okay. So
so
you would
simple. I could do them every day. Like I love accessories. I look forward to my accessories than anything.
that's probably the first time I've heard a powerlifter say
Yeah,
that.
anyone who sees me train, I'm like I love doing all my accessories. Like I don't think I've ever skipped an accessory in my program for like the last 5 years. Like I write down every single exercise I do.
Yeah, wow. Do you have a leg accessory that you like?
Like a leading accessory, probably like a lat pull down.
No, sorry, like a leg, like a lower body.
Or a leg extensions or leg press or like lying leg curl for machines or a dumbbell RDL. Free weights.
Yeah, okay.
Or
Interesting.
barbell RDL, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting to, I guess, find out some of the other stuff. And it's probably is this the first podcast you've done?
Yeah, first podcast, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, I feel special now that this was the
Yeah.
first one you came on. So thank you for coming on. But this will be good for a big goal of mine is mainly just that Instagram is great, but it just sometimes doesn't always allow people to kind of really understand how people are, especially if you're shy, kind of like you mentioned with yourself. You just kind of post and you're not really being too open.
Yeah, I'm super shy. Yeah. super.
Yeah. So this kind of will, so there's people that are going to listen to it now and kind of, you'll be a little bit more approachable. It might give someone the confidence to come and say hello in person, which is good.
Yeah.
And yeah, overall, I think you're a fucking crazy lifter, man. I'm really like looking forward to seeing what you do in the future. I think what you've done done so far is crazy.
Thank
And
you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Like, yeah, I do. I love this game. So, I'll be in it for as long as I can.
well, luckily, powerlifting, as unlike a lot of other sports, people seem to be able to do well into their 40s. So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
you've got a lot of ground to cover, and you're off to a bloody hell of a start. So before we go, I will do what I always do, and obviously I'll give a shout out to Achievement Apex and Power Pit Rockingham, and then I will also give a shout out to Ped Test Australia and Bulk Gym Chalk. But then also, is there any I guess sponsors or anything you would want to shout out?
My coach would be, the biggest shout out. He's sponsored me for the past 3 years. So definitely shout out to my coach Luke for putting so much effort and time into my training and believing in me from day one. And obviously, yeah, my workplace, Crunch Fitness, Mentone. Big shout out to them. And my new sponsor, Do Not Stop, DNS. And yeah.
All right, awesome. One quick thing I will say before I go, because you said deadlift is your lift.
Yeah.
Have you had the opportunity to deadlift on an achievement bar? Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Have you known anyone that has?
No, I haven't actually. No.
So I know, so I was basically contacted by Brennan a
Yeah.
little while ago, and then he came on as a sponsor on the podcast. But we got a couple of bars sent around recently, and I guess I'll use. I mean, I haven't said it on the podcast yet, but it's something great that he was able to do. Is I spoke to someone that kind of indirectly was, I guess, on a personal level with Larry Wheels, and
Yeah.
so
Okay. Yeah.
Brendan got a couple of bars in Larry's gym, and so I mean, assuming they're going to deadlift on him now as well. But we did send one to Jamie as well. But it'd be interesting to see you deadlift on one of those. Do you use a lot of the slack? Like, is that something you
I
like?
love. I like them. Is it more like flimsy like that? Like
Yeah.
a.
So, like, do you know what a kabuki bar is?
Okay. I love the kabuki bar. Love it.
Yes. So his is. I mean, this is just Brendan's words. I haven't used one yet, but it is more whip than the kabuki bar.
More whip. Yeah, I love bars that actually have whip. I do.
Well,
That.
I'll have to chat to Brendan, and I'll let him know that you'd be interested in trying one.
Yeah, I'd
Obviously,
definitely be interested. Definitely.
yeah, we have to after your next comp, but
Yeah.
I'll mention to him that you want to pull 250 on one.
Yeah. Well, I love the kabuki bar. So if it's like that, then it's right down my alley.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll let him know. But I mean, look, 9 weeks time or 9.5 weeks time, really good, good prep so far by the sounds of it. I have to say good luck at Pro Raw.
Thank you.
And once again, thank you for being here today. And hopefully one day you can come over to Perth. I can meet you in person and you can compete over here.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Great chat.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I look forward to it.
Absolutely. See ya.
Awesome. See ya.